Make some noise for Trini Lopez! It's wonderful to have you here at Gibson and at NAMM. How have you been? You've been doing okay?
I've been doing great, by the grace of God.
All right. So, Trini, I have to ask you, what initially got you involved in picking up the guitar and playing?
Oh my God. I was about 9 years old, and I was born and raised, first of all, I was born and raised in a black Mexican ghetto in Dallas, Texas. And it was a tough place. It was a tough place to grow up. And I was running around with a gang, and I was getting in trouble and all this and that. And my father was a very special man. He didn't like me running around with the tough guys and getting in trouble. And my father used to be a dancer, a singer, a musician, and an actor when he was young in Mexico. But now he's in Texas with my mother and my brothers and sisters. And so my father noticed that I was getting in trouble, and he didn't want me to have that kind of a life. So he, being a musician, the third time he told me to be home, and the third time that I did not listen to him, he took his belt off and gave me a real good whipping. I mean, really good. And the next day, to make up for hitting me, he came home with a guitar that he stopped at a pawn shop to buy this $12 guitar. He couldn't afford to buy that guitar, but he did. And he brought it to me, and he said, "Son," he said, I'm sorry that I hit you." He said, "But I really want you to have more of a constructive life. I want you to go the right path." He said, I want you to have this guitar because I want you to get into music, and I will teach you all the songs that I used to sing when I was a young man in Mexico. So my father came to the guitar, and I was elated. It was a black, listen to this. Listen, I was 8, 9 years old. I'm 81 now.
Give it up, give it up.
Yeah!
How about that?
I was about 8, 9 years old, and he, listen to this. He bought me this guitar, maybe it's like an omen. He bought this guitar for me from a pawn shop, and it was a black-faced Gibson guitar.
Hey, how about that? I like it.
So I fell in love with that guitar. I fell in love with music. My father started teaching me my first songs that he knew when he was a boy, a young man in Texas. And that's how I started getting into music and guitar because of my dad.
Well, that's great. You know, that's awesome because my mom got me involved in music as well, and it's amazing what the support of family members will do to help keep you playing.
Right.
Now, when you first started playing, what were some of the things that you found very difficult about playing, and how did you overcome it as a guitar player?
Well, because I had a lot of friends, and they like music also. Most people in the world love music. What is there not to like about music, right?
Yeah.
So I started getting an audience when I was very young, and I started playing on the streets, street corners. And I would go home with about $4 or $5 in my pocket, and that was a lot of money for me at the age of 8, 9, 10 years old. So because of my enthusiasm from friends of mine in my neighborhood, I got into staying with music.
Right. So how about the songwriting experience, about writing songs and performing songs? What type of things influenced you in terms of your writing and your playing?
Well, I started because of my dad with Mexican folk songs, mariachi, Mexican folk song, Texas folk songs, and then I started listening to the radio, and I fell in love with rock and roll.
Oh, yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
And so I started getting into that kind of a vein of music, and before I knew it, I was playing, singing all kinds of different music. Love songs. I loved Frank Sinatra when I was a kid. Little did I know that one day he was going to be my friend.
There you go.
My friend for 36 years. Frank Sinatra, I got to know for 36 years. And he found me, Frank Sinatra found me at a nightclub in Hollywood called PJ's. That's where I got my start. And Frank Sinatra saw 2 of my shows, just me and my guitar. And he liked my music and my singing and my voice. And he gave me a 6-year contract to be on his record label that he owned. At the very beginning at that time, he had a brand new record label called Reprise Records. And he signed me up for 6 years. I ended up recording for him for 10 years. And that's where I got started with my hit records, recording live at this place called PJ's, a nightclub in Hollywood, where all the biggest stars used to come in. And Frank, of course, used to come in all the time. And so I never thought that I would be his friend and get to know him for 36 years and become his #1 recording artist on Reprise Records.
Hey, there you go. Give it up. You had so many strings of hit songs, 13, 14 hit songs in a row. Songs like If I Had a Hammer, right? Give it up for that.
#1.
#1.
38 countries. 38.
And La Bamba.
La Bamba, all over the world.
Right? And one of my favorites, Lemon Tree.
Lemon Tree.
You love my Lemon Tree, right? So being that you had so much success, what's it like when you have today's guitar players? You have so many guitar players that choose the Trini Lopez model.
Yeah.
Dave Grohl loves Trini Lopez.
Yeah.
Right? You have Bono and The Edge that love Trini Lopez.
Right.
So many players today I love Trini Lopez guitar.
A lot of big guitar players and jazz guitar players play my guitar.
Right. How many out there are Trini Lopez fans out there? Every one of you. Let them feel the love. It's great.
Thank you.
So, Trini, you had such a great career. String after hit after hit after hit. #1 across the nation, across the world. Right? Across the world. Hall of Fame career. What is the secret to your success? How are you still able to, get up and say, man, it's a wonderful day, because you're so positive?
That's a very interesting question. I get asked that all over the world, and I really don't have an answer. Why? I'm a good singer and I play the guitar fair, but who would ever think, Thank you, Joe. This man right here, guys, he is my co-writing amigo. His name is Joe Chivara.
Give it up for Joe.
Anyway, Joe is a great songwriter, and Joe and I recorded all the songs in a 3-package CD set. And I call this a Trini trilogy.
All right.
Yeah, and it's got some great songs. How many altogether? 46 songs.
You can get it on Amazon, CD Baby, and both his site, mine, Trini Lopez Music.net and Joe Chivara Music.net. It's great. It's got pop, rock, ballads, blues, everything you can imagine.
All right.
In 9 months, we wrote 3 albums.
Wow.
9 months. Can you believe that?
Yeah, it's amazing. Yeah, it's amazing.
Thank you, Joe. Thank you.
So this is already out, Trini?
It's my brand new effort. And it's been out 3 months or so.
Oh, thanks, Trini.
Yeah.
Thank you very much. Well, I'm looking forward to hearing it myself. I was going to go on Amazon and buy it, but now I have a copy from Trini. How about that? I'm going to have to ask for your signature before we leave. But that said, Trini, I'm so happy and pleased on behalf of Gibson to introduce a new Trini Lopez guitar, signature guitar. Give it up for that. It's amazing. Mike Volts from Gibson.
First, I gotta say, Trini, this is an honor.
Thank you.
The first record my family ever had was Trini.
Oh, that's great.
He goes, for so many of us, you were our introduction
Thank you.
to music.
I recorded my first album in 1963, before everybody was born.
Trini, we need to give you a guitar.
All right, all right.
This is the only white Trini Lopez in existence. For the only Trini Lopez that we'll ever have.
I hope so.
This guitar has meant so much for the world. I mean, don't use it. Rusty Anderson with Paul McCartney. You can go on and on,
Yeah.
and list the musicians that play your guitar all the time, that love your guitar, that influence all of us in what we do.
Thank you.
We love you.
Thank you so much. God bless you.
Ladies and gentlemen, I'm a little emotional. Thank you so much. Please give it up once again for the legendary Trini Lopez.